Check out great deals at Safeway. This week at Safeway, 1 pound of strawberries or 6 ounces of blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries are 3 for $12. Member price. Plus get value packs of USDA Choice Boneless Beef Tri-Tip Roast, untrimmed twin packs for $3.87 per pound with digital coupon. Limit 2 packages. And local green or red seedless grapes for the member price of $1.88 per pound. Also at Safeway, 16 ounces of Jenny O Turkey. Selected varieties are buy one, get one free. Visit Safeway.com or head in store for more deals.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Well, hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the founder and lead investigator of Deep Woods Paranormal. Along with my wife, Amanda, we investigate everything paranormal, from Bigfoot to UFOs to ghosts to river monsters, lake monsters, cryptid creatures. If it's paranormal nature, we investigate it. So, all right. A lot of people have been asking me so many questions. Basically, they're asking, where's your Facebook page? Where's your Twitter page? Where's your, this? Where's your that? So I'm going to quickly go over those and cover a few other things. So we're going to do some quick housekeeping. So bear with me. Let me share my screen. All right. So this is our Deep Woods Paranormal page. This is our Facebook page. If you want to find us, you can basically just type in Deep Woods Paranormal and it should come up. This is what it looks like. And on here, we've got quite a bit of content for you guys. We have all of our links to all of our podcasts. We're going to be switching back over to researching Bigfoot here. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We just confirmed an event here for May. 3 weekends in May, we're going to be doing an event, a paranormal event. So that will be up on here and on our website, and I'll get to that in just a second. So if you're looking for us, we're here. We're still looking to add more followers. We'd like to get it to at least 10,000 people. So if you want to come over here and like our page, we'd appreciate it. Let's go over to Twitter, because people ask me, are you on Twitter? Yes, we are on Twitter. Again, under Deep Woods Paranormal. And again, I post a lot of links here. I post a lot of stuff. We don't get a lot of views for some reason. I think we're pretty much kind of shadow banned on here for some weird reason. But anyways, if you want to know what shadow banned basically means, they don't show your content unless somebody actually clicks on it or searches exactly for it or shares your link somewhere else. So I'm pretty sure that's what is happening on our YouTube channel too. Okay. So everybody asked me, are you on Instagram? Yes, we're on Instagram. What happened to my profile page here? I don't know what just happened here. I was on our profile page. Here we go. So basically this will show you a lot of our posts. These are just links. I put the pictures of the podcast up here so that you guys can click on here. And if you click on here, it'll give you the link down below if you're an Instagrammer. So basically, if you come on our Deep Woods Paranormal 1990 page, you can see, anything goes paranormal podcast. There's a description here, and then down below you're gonna have to cut and paste, but that's the only way I could get the link on here. I've been trying to work with Instagram to figure out a better way. I don't want to do 30-second clips, 1-minute clips. It's too much for me to do, especially when these podcasts are an hour long, and I've got to do 5 or 6 of them a week just to kind of keep up. So anyways, okay, so let's move on. Let's get out of here. So this is our Instagram page. If you come to iHeartRadio, we're under speaker. So we're on I think at last time I counted, we're on over 60 platforms. So if you're listening to this, you're probably already on one of our platforms that we're on. If you're hearing this from a link, you can basically look up Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast. It should have this black logo with basically the grave stone and the ghost with a scared look on his face and the moon kind of thing looking behind it. I should say Deep Woods Paranormal. Welcome to the Paranormal Podcast. So again, on here, basically you can come here and click on here, and then basically you can basically read all about all the descriptions. All of our links are down here for you. So you can go on here and click on these links, or you might have to cut and paste them. For some reason, they're not showing as links. But anyway, so you can go on here and you can click on the links. And then if you want to come over to our Deep Woods Paranormal page, this is actually the YouTube page. This is where we actually have a lot of videos. I think we're closing in on 300 videos. The little thing up here says buy me a coffee. I'll explain that in just a second. You can also find our other links, like to our TikTok. You can find the link to our actual audio podcast, and you can find our Facebook page here as well. And there's other links too. So lots of different things for you guys to see. I know people are really into Bigfoot. So if you come down here, you can see our multiple playlists. We have short videos. We have longer videos. We have Bigfoot research. We have cool things that we caught on camera. Not all of them are ghosts or Bigfoot or anything like that. We have full investigations, and then we have our paranormal podcasts. Now, there's multiple podcasts. There's 4 different podcasts, and let me try and remember them all. Okay, so we have the paranormal. Geez, I can't talk today. Paranormal news podcast, which is what you're listening to now. We have the Anything Goes podcast. Amanda does do her ghost stories every once in a while. We're just so busy right now. She's kind of not wanting to do it. She wants to take a break when she gets home. We're both working a crap ton. That's why these podcasts are coming out a little late. Sorry, the dogs are freaking out in another room. So let's see. So we have the Anything Goes podcast. I have the paranormal news. We have the Amanda's ghost stories. We have the Bigfoot only and the Cryptid podcasts. Cryptid only podcast. So those are the 5 that we do. Right now we're only doing 4 because Amanda's not wanting to. She doesn't have time. She just doesn't have the time to do the podcasts. So when she gets time, hopefully she'll hop back on here and start doing that. But again, you've got multiple playlists. The Bigfoot only podcast. Let me see if I can go to playlist here. All right, so this will show you. Now, somebody was asking me the other day, what is this? Where it says paranormal podcast audio only. Let's say you're driving, or you're just wanting to go to sleep, or you want to hear a story or whatever as you're going to sleep. Our audio podcast transfers over to our YouTube channel. So basically, it's just audio. It's not actually me physically on here like if you're watching the YouTube channel or the Rumble channel. Basically it's just audio. So, but you can play it through our YouTube channel. And then so basically we've had all the podcasts are kind of separated out here into different videos. So paranormal news podcast, the audio and the video are in there as well. The audio only and the video are also in these as well. So be careful if you're looking through. If you see the white screen with the yellow kind of lines at the bottom kind of facing up, that's audio only. So I hope that clarifies. Whenever I do an audio podcast, it transfers over to the YouTube channel, and then I put the video podcast up usually the next day or a day later than that. All right. So, and then we're also over here on Rumble. Let me see if I can get to our profile page. Let me move this. So let's see, my content, my channel. Here we go. I'm going to move this out of the way, get my ugly mug out of here. So you can see the Deep Woods Paranormal page. Unfortunately, I can't seem to get a logo to fit in here. I've done every single size and shape. I can't get it to fit. And again, over here, same problem. But anyways, you can see all of our podcasts. You can click on them, and hopefully you give us a thumbs up. Oops. But we're doing pretty well over here. We've got a lot of people viewing our podcasts over here and stuff like that, watching our other videos. So you can come over here and just scroll through and see which one you want to listen to. Like here's the Bigfoot only podcast. Here's the paranormal news podcast. Here's the Anything Goes podcast. Here's the Cryptid Only podcast. I think a couple of Amandas are on here too somewhere. But anyways, so you can just see I've switched over, just basically putting the whatever podcast it's going to be. I put the logo for that podcast in the side here. All right. Sorry. Speaking of podcasting. Okay. So this is the Deep Woods Paranormal page. Basically our podcast or YouTube is all here. You can come on here and you can scroll down and listen to any podcast you want on here. And there's just a ton of them. I think there's, what are we at now? 100 and we're closing in on 130 podcasts in the last year. So, and then you can go to our YouTube channel. Come on now. And then, of course, all of our YouTube videos are here. Again, you can see the white background with the yellow. It says speaker above it with a star. That is the audio only podcast. So if you want to watch the podcast and you want to see the physical video, you have to go into the other video. If you just want to listen to it and maybe set your phone down or on Alexa or whatever you're doing. Sorry for my bald head. You can click on here. This is our website, Deep Woods Paranormal. And then basically the ghost tours, the public ghost hunts are here. Again, we're still working on timing for the jail. Hopefully we're going to do this by May. We've got another event that we're trying to set up too, to go back to the Normandy Inn in Galveston. It's one of the 13 top haunted places in Galveston. We might be doing a overnight there, a lockdown. So we'll just see. We're trying to work with the owner and find out what he wants to do and go from there. And we're still trying to get permission for that. So, all right. You saw earlier the link on our YouTube channel up on the little corner says buy me a coffee. Essentially, this is just a way to donate to our coffee. Some people have buy me a beer or buy me this or buy me that. Essentially, what we're trying to do is buy a new video camera. And we're trying to raise $2,000 to essentially help buy this camera. We have some money saved for it, but and of course I'm working my yin yang off to try and get some extra money coming in, and we're putting money aside for that. But we're basically asking for your help to basically buy this new camera. We want to upgrade to the next higher camera to take our shows to the next level. So that's why we are asking for your help in that. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, that's great. If you want to buy us 3, 5, however many, we're super grateful. If you're just on here and you just want to watch the video, that's great too. We really appreciate you guys coming on, listening, and watching our videos. Our podcasts. If you'll do me a favor, if you're on either the Rumble page or the Deep Woods Paranormal page, please subscribe. Hit the like button or the thumbs up button on the Rumble page. And, feel free to leave us a comment. Please be polite. We're, like I said, this channel is a non-judgment channel. We kind of look at all aspects of the paranormal. Amanda and I try and take a little bit more of a skeptical side, just because everything can't be paranormal. And sometimes it's hard to separate what's real and what's not. So, if you're in the field, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, so essentially, like I said, if you want to donate to us and help us, we really appreciate it. If you want to, like I said, if you just want to come on here to either, let me see, let me go home. I want to come on to one of our videos. This is Joe's Camp, I believe. I'm going to pause this so I don't have to listen to it. But if you hit this little thumbs up, it's greatly appreciated. It really helps us. And then, of course, like and subscribe to the channel. That again really helps us, and basically helps us to continue to grow and keeps the videos going. So we've been in a lot of places. Like I said, Amanda and I have investigated the paranormal for close to 30 years together now, and we've lived in haunted homes. We've, places that have a lot of paranormal activity. I wouldn't say haunted, but they're very, very actively paranormally here, this house here that we live in now doesn't have as much activity. It's kind of slow until I do a podcast and something wants attention and moves something or knocks on the wall. Or if you're listening through the audio, listen in between me talking. Sometimes there's voices that come up over my voice or under my voice. Sometimes when Amanda does a podcast, she will, you'll hear a man's voice and there's nobody here. She's the only one here. So there shouldn't be any male voice, and it talks over her usually. So anyways, and then we got the haunted dolls sitting behind me, and there's other things in this house. I mean, in this room only that possibly have attachments. And nothing in here is negative. It's all positive, very playful. The kids are fun because like you'll turn off the TV and start to walk away, and the TV will turn back on to something, and the volume will be way up, and it just like scares the living bejesus out of you. My niece, when she was here the other day, she heard a little girl's voice. And the kids, she's what, 13 or 14? I can't remember how old she is now. But the kids that are attached to the dolls are about her age. So they were kind of interested in having a conversation with her. And she might be a little sensitive too. So
Check out great deals at Safeway. This week at Safeway, 1 pound of strawberries or 6 ounces of blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries are 3 for $12. Member price. Plus get value packs of USDA Choice Boneless Beef Tri-Tip Roast, untrimmed twin packs for $3.87 per pound with digital coupon. Limit 2 packages. And local green or red seedless grapes for the member price of $1.88 per pound. Also at Safeway, 16 ounces of Jennie-O turkey. Selected varieties are buy one, get one free. Visit Safeway.com or head in store for more deals.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
all right. Let's see what the last thing. Okay. So what we're gonna do, I've been kind of going through YouTube videos on these paranormal news podcasts. If you're watching, you'll be able to see this. If you're not watching, but you're listening, I'll do my best to try and describe what we're seeing, what's going on, and give you my thoughts at the end. I will play devil's advocate. I'll look both sides. And at some point, I'm going to start going back through our evidence as well. And essentially also playing devil's advocate. You know, I do it all the time. I go through stuff, especially when you get something crazy like a door flying open and then slamming shut, as the spirit box is saying, you need to go. It's time for you to leave. Get out now. Oh boy. Anyways, that was enormity. And if you haven't seen that video, watch that till the end on our YouTube channel. Holy moly, that thing just started squawking. We were there 2 nights, and first night nothing, second night it was like whoa. And that's because I put out a bunch of EM pumps, and an EM pump is just like those old essentially it's basically like one of those old air pumps that they had for aquariums, and it makes the same noise. So I'm guessing it's pretty much the same thing. I think what happens is something inside spins really quickly, like a top, and then basically that throws out EMF into the room. So and I'm sure it's way more complicated than that, but so essentially I think that's what it is. And I put out 6 of them throughout the house, and this house has almost 30 rooms, maybe it has more than 30 rooms. And the spirits seem to really enjoy having that EMF, because they came down and they're like, hey, you know, you need to leave. It's time to go. And I think the female It's like there was a family there. Anyways, we've talked about this before. If you're interested in listening to a podcast or watching a podcast about the Normandy, we did a whole thing on it, and then we did a show on it as well. So it's about an hour long. I know people won't watch more than about 3 or 4 minutes, but our videos basically document our experiences. If I showed the whole video, you'd have like 30, 40 hours of stuff going on. So essentially, I trim the fat, go in and basically clip anything that I think is possibly evidence. And then I basically have a little bit of a lead up time and then maybe a reaction time on our videos. So if you watch, sometimes they're a little long. I try and keep them between 10 and 30 minutes long, the shows that we put when we do investigations. But sometimes there's just so much stuff happening that they just turn into an hour long. It's so hard to trim stuff out when there's so many things going on. All right, so we're going to watch this video. This is a YouTube channel. It says top 10 actual scary moments from paranormal investigation shows. So I figured this would be fun. I hope that we don't, it's on another YouTube channel. So hopefully they won't block out any of the video like they did with the Finding Bigfoot stuff. So I'll blow this up. We'll play this. What this looks like is it says Destination Fear 2019. And basically it says it's a thermal camera. And basically they're getting some kind of hit on the thermal and they're reacting. So let's blow this up. If you're listening on the audio podcast, don't worry. If you scroll down all the way down the bottom in the description, our links are first to all of our stuff. So if you guys are trying to find us on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, YouTube, Rumble, all that's down there. So you can find us and you can watch the podcast if you would like. And then there's other content as well that we put out, which is fun for you guys, hopefully, to watch. If you're into the paranormal, we have a ton of content. And then essentially, if you scroll past that, we have keywords, and then basically, I think we have hashtags, and then essentially the links are down in that area to these videos. We always put a link to the video so you guys can find it and come take a look for yourself. Like I said, this channel has no judgment. When I'm reviewing these videos, I'm just kind of going, okay, is that real? Is it not? And I just basically give you my opinion. But you guys really need to make up your own minds as to if this is real or not. You have to, like I said, I'm not here to tell you it's real or it's not real or whatever. I'm going to kind of look at it and go, okay, it's this, it's that. And then you guys can kind of make up your own minds. And if you want to leave a comment down below, I appreciate that. And give us your feedback. We'd love to hear what you think. So let's move my big ugly head out of the way. All right, so let's start with this one and just see.
What? Dude, I just saw a black.
Okay, so let me turn this up. So what you're seeing, oh, whoa, that's weird. I wonder if those are eyes. So essentially they're in a dark area. I'm not sure exactly where they are. It doesn't say on the video. But the one gentleman has a thermal in his hand and he's looking down what looks like a hallway. And the guy with the camera is following him, has looks like a normal camera, not an IR camera. And so he's more in color. And we usually use IR, but sometimes color is nice too. So let's see what happens here.
A black math?
Welcome to Watch Mode.
Okay. So basically, he saw something down the hall. They didn't really show it.
Joe. And today we're...
Okay, so this is basically the intro. We'll watch this through. I'm going to let it play. Essentially, they're just showing little clips of things to come. It says narrated by Ryan on the bottom, and it says Watch Mojo. I'm not sure what Mojo is, but I'm sure it's some kind of show or brand or something that I've never heard of. So let's keep watching.
Down our...
Okay, so in the first clip, they're showing you what looks like, I don't know, a person walking from right to left. You're seeing like a living room. There's a couch, chairs, and stuff. And then there's an opening basically into what looks like maybe a kitchen or something like that. And this camera must be mounted up on the wall, kind of covering the whole room like a security camera. and essentially you see somebody walk by. Looks like a woman in a white nightgown, pretty much, or maybe a person in a sheet. It's not transparent from what I can see. Now it could be. We'll see in a second. Let's just play this clip and let's see what happens.
For the top 10, actually.
Okay, so let's go back just for a second. If you're watching this,
Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top.
Okay, so now when they zoom in, you can see it's actually transparent. But I don't know. We'll just keep playing this. Let's watch the
10
clip.
actually scary moments from paranormal investigation shows.
This is terrifying.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is the first clip. These guys are, I don't know where they're at. It says Destination Fear 2019, Media Logistics LLC, and it's from the Travel Channel. So I'm sure if you guys want to watch the show, you can probably go watch it on the Travel Channel. So it looks like they're walking down either a basement or maybe it doesn't look like a jail. It looks like it's just probably some basement. So let's keep watching and see what happens.
Hello?
For this list, we'll be looking at the most nerve-wracking experiences and unsettling evidence captured by professional ghost hunters for our entertainment. We'll only look at shows that prioritize an investigation as opposed to reenactments or storytelling, as horrifying as they may be. Which paranormal encounter makes your skin crawl? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10, walking full-body apparition.
Okay. So this says number 10, walking full body apparition, ghost of Morgan City. This was taken in 2019. Let's see what happens.
Ghosts of Morgan City. This team of investigators set out to solve the unexplained phenomena occurring in Morgan City, Louisiana. In the third episode, the trio responds to reports of strange activity at Idlewild Plantation. It has everything between rituals and a floating blue shirt.
A blue shirt was just floating with no hands, no head, no legs.
With the building supposedly empty, investigator Ben is completely caught off guard as he reviews electronic voice phenomenon EVP footage. The camera reveals a full-bodied, semi-transparent apparition crossing a hallway. Such evidence is so rare, it may easily be contested, but the crew determined the figure possibly belonged to a nurse from the early 1900s. With the pieces coming together, the wandering apparition becomes even more chilling.
You can literally see through it, dude. You can see the background as it walks through right there on the bottom.
Number 9, trans-alligator.
Okay, so let me pull the mic back over here. What I'm doing is I'm moving the mic closer to the speaker so you guys can hear. I'm hoping you guys can hear this real well. So essentially, they were in some kind of town that had ghosts. They were in somebody's home. Looks like they mounted, again, a night vision camera up. And essentially, looks like, that could possibly be a person. Could they fake that? Yes. And it is a TV show. So these are TV shows, guys. They're paid to get reactions out of you guys. That's what keeps you guys going back to watch them. We try and only post evidence to our on our shows as well, but we don't fake anything. We're 100% real. When you see us get something or react to something or something happens around us, it's not staged. It's 100% real. So anyways, like I said, you guys got to choose, pick and choose what you think is real, what you think isn't. Goes back to my old saying, I don't expect anybody to believe until they've had an encounter, or they could say can't be anything else but. And if you were living in that house or you're visiting that house and something went by like that, you might be a little bit more of a believer. But watching it on video and not being there, we don't know what the real story is. We don't know what really happened, what really transpired. So anyways, it's a pretty cool video. It does look like it looks like a female. It does look like she's in some kind of white gown. And essentially she does go from the right of the screen to the left of the screen. So again, you guys got to make up your own mind as to what if that's real or not. So let's watch this next one. It says number 9, Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. And this is also Destination Fear. I wonder if these are all going to be Destination Fear. So let's keep watching.
Lunatic Asylum, Destination Fear. Led by paranormal aficionado Dakota Layden, the team faces several distressing situations at the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Though not a singular moment, the crew stumbles into a few consecutive ones that keep even the most iron-willed viewer on their toes. The tension builds as Tanner and Dakota survey each floor. Eventually, they're startled by the unmistakable sound of a door creaking to a close.
What the hell was that?
Okay, let me interrupt them. That's interesting. Again, the problem with this is that, yeah, they're just walking around. They've got a camera like we want to get this guy. It's a little blurry, but you can kind of see the camera. He's got a big mic up here, and he's got a handheld camera that basically they can go on your shoulder or basically be carried around. It's a very nice camera, probably a $4,000 or $5,000, $10,000 camera or more. So essentially, he's walking around. They're walking around downstairs in this, whatever this is, this basement, or this lower level, I would imagine. The doors didn't have any windows, so yeah, that makes sense for it to be an asylum. You got to remember that at asylums, you had people that were just not wanted. They weren't lunatics. They weren't insane. But they were dropped off at these locations, maybe because they were a little different and people didn't like them. Their parents dropped a lot of kids off that were basically, they just didn't want them. A lot of orphans got put in these places, people with drug problems. And then, of course, there's true people that are really actually insane or evil. Not or evil. And evil. Some of them are, like serial killers and stuff like that were proven to be clinically insane. I don't know about this particular asylum, but a lot of these asylums, things happened to these people. They might have gone in and been normal like you and me. And then as time went on, they experimented on these people. They did a lot of horrible things to these people and then just locked them in a room. I mean, if you got locked in a room 24/7 almost, and basically they were feeding you all kinds of medication to just keep you quiet, you would probably go a little insane too. So these asylums, hopefully not today, but back in the day, they didn't treat people very nice, and it didn't matter if they were actually insane or not. They did experiments on these people. They just did a bunch of terrible things. So that energy is left in these asylums. They're basically, there's some kind of mark left. And sometimes these entities are actual, they're intelligent. And by intelligent, I mean, they can understand what we're saying. They can comprehend what's going on, and they can react in a way like we would. Maybe you get a voice, maybe you see an apparition, maybe you hear something like they did. Maybe you get a K2 hit. The K2 is that little very sensitive EMF detector that has 5 little lights on the top, and we ask them to light it up for yes and leave it on 1 light for no.
Check out great deals at Safeway. This week at Safeway, 1 pound of strawberries or 6 ounces of blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries are 3 for $12. Member price. Plus get value packs of USDA Choice Boneless Beef Tri-Tip Roast, untrimmed twin packs for $3.87 per pound with digital coupon. Limit 2 packages. And local green or red seedless grapes for the member price of $1.88 per pound. Also at Safeway, 16 ounces of Jenny-O turkey. Selected varieties are buy one, get one free. Visit Safeway.com or head in store for more deals.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
So things like that. Sometimes other devices will go off and stuff. Things get triggered. But there's also residual too. There's just residual energy where things are like, it's like a rerun on TV. It doesn't matter what's going on. It'll happen no matter what. You can ask for it to do something and won't do it. It basically is just like a rerun on TV. It usually happens pretty much in the same area around the same time, either each night, each day, each week. Might happen every Thursday. It's just, you might hear the same thing. You might hear footsteps. You might hear a door close. You might hear all this other stuff. If you don't visually see it, it could be residual. All right, so let's keep going.
Like a high squeak of a door or something.
Following the sound, Tanner spots a cold mass on his thermal camera, alerting the pair that they're not alone.
What was that? What? Dude, I just saw a black mass. A black mass? Dude, it was I don't even know. It was just like a black circle. On your thermal, on your night vision? On my thermal. On the thermal. That means it's freezing cold.
What's worse, Alex gets a disturbing call from Tanner, except Tanner doesn't have his phone.
What? Tanner? What is that?
The team scrambles to find the prank caller to no avail, leaving viewers tantalized and terrified about what lurks in the asylum's halls.
What happened? Dude, no freaking clue. Where's your phone?
Okay. So essentially, yeah, that's pretty interesting. I've received calls where I picked up and there's a breathing or a voice, and it's real faint, and it says something, and then there's nothing, and it goes on for a minute or two, and then just hangs up. And then sometimes I will call back. It's like something's trying to reach it past the grave, and I just got chills all down my arm. I got goosebumps all down my arm. I can feel it around my back here. It feels like something's standing to my right over here. Anyways, maybe it's one of the little kids or something. Nothing bad. Anyways, so yeah, they can manipulate electronic devices. They can manipulate us. I mean, I always say, if you think about the human body, our brain is like a computer. Basically, we eat food, we consume food to create energy for our bodies. And then electrical currents go through our whole bodies. There actually is an EMF detector that can pick us up. And one of these days I want to get one because I think they're really cool. They're a little outdated, but I think they're amazing. If you have an EMF detector that picks up people and you're standing and it's not going off and it's sitting in an area and you ask them something to go next to it that you can't see and it starts to go off, buzz, then you might have something paranormal in nature. Anyways, I'm going to mute this because this is a commercial. We're going to let it play through as I continue to talk. Hopefully we'll skip this in a second or two. Okay. So we're going to go back to watching them react to what they just experienced. The cell phone thing, I think, could be real. I've had that happen. Of course, they could just be faking it. It is a paranormal show. And then also, the door slamming, I've had that happen to me as well. So let's listen again.
Number 8, jumping saucepan. Help, my house is haunted. When it comes to hauntings in the household, this UK trio are master investigators. While responding to paranormal claims related to an unassuming cottage, the team sits down with a miniature cast iron stove set that has reportedly been moving on its own. To their surprise, one of the tiny pans jumps up, touching Jane's palm.
Is there something attached to this object? Did that move or was it your hand?
I didn't touch it.
Some fans speculate whether this one is authentic, but the crew makes a point of allaying questions by showing multiple angles and attempting to replicate the instance. Though they don't get another response by the alleged spirit, the jump scare was definitely creepy.
Okay, let me jump back in here. Okay, so haunted objects. I've got some haunted dolls behind me. I've got other things that have some energy to them, or attachments, as people call them. And of course, you just saw me have a possible paranormal experience as I'm sitting here. I got the chill down my back, and then I got cold goosebumps down my arm. Still a cold spot to my right. It could be the air conditioning kicking on. But it's only on my right arm, like something's standing to my right ear. So yeah, can objects have attachments? Yes. If somebody really liked that item, like this little scrunch ball I've got in my hand, when I go, I could attach myself to this, and somebody could, buy it at a garage sale, or buy it at a yard sale, or buy it from a Goodwill or any place like that, and put it wherever, and all of a sudden they see me, or they hear me, or they feel me, or the ball moves, or whatever. I believe that could be true. Now, if you watched the different angles, the last angle they showed, you actually see her palm go down at an angle, and I believe it's like a saucepan. It's basically has a little handle. I believe she hit the saucepan handle, and then it came up at an angle in her hand. So I don't believe this is to be paranormal. Like I said, if you guys, this link will be in here to this video. You guys can come in here and watch it. It's about 4 minutes, and actually just before 4 minutes on the video. So yeah, I got to keep going because this video is getting really, really long. I don't want it to be like 2 hours long. Okay, so let's keep watching.
It looks like it jumps. It jumps. You can see it jump.
Number 7, Woman in Black.
Okay, so I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to move the speaker, the mic back closer to the speaker so you guys can hear this.
It hunts. In the second season premiere of this UK paranormal series, the investigators begin their multi-episode exploration of the famously haunted city of Chester. After learning about potential ghost sightings at the Chester Rose, the team set up camp in hopes of spotting one. Though doubtful of seeing an actual ghost, Danny readies a full-spectrum camera. And yet, as a perfect primer for what the city has to offer, he captures a photo of a mysterious woman in a black dress. Knowing the streets were empty and the photos preceding and following this shot did not achieve the same results, it's possible he found an unsuspecting apparition out in the open. Even ghosts need to get out sometimes. Number 6.
Okay, so that's an interesting picture. It's not very clear. Full spectrum cameras, we have a couple that we've modified to make them the little, they're basically the action cameras. We've pulled the sensor out and put the camera back together. They're kind of cool, but they're very, very purplish red. I'm sure you guys have seen Ghost Hunters, the new Ghost Hunters. They have one that actually is much clearer, but all they do is they have people that create gear for them, which is awesome. I'd love to get my hand on one, but I'm sure it's going to be, hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars for that particular camera that they've pretty much built. And if you're a gear builder and want to build gear for us, whether it be for Bigfooting or UFO research or ghosts or whatever, feel free to reach out to me. My information is down in the description below. And then of course there's all of our social media links and stuff like that. So there's all kinds of ways to get in touch with me, or leave a comment down below on the YouTube channel, or even on the, I would say on the audio podcast, but the best way to actually reach me is through cell. So either call me or text me. My information is on every single podcast platform we're on. I don't get a lot of notifications of messages on these platforms. And because there's 60 of them, it's very hard to keep track of who said what. So I apologize if you've left a message on there for me. But I now have my phone number and my email in the description. So go through and comment, message us through there. Go to our website, go to our Facebook page, YouTube, Rumble page, whatever. There's a lot of ways to communicate with us. All right, let's keep watching. This says Flying Knife. This is the most haunted, looks like 10 of 2000. It says 2002-10, and then it says 2014 through 2019. So hold on, let's watch this.
Flying Knife, most haunted. In the first of this 3-part episodic feature, Yvette Fielding takes her team to the historic Standon Hall. Most Haunted builds the tension from the very start, with possible communications and temperature shifts hinting at constant activity in the building.
I'd like to get out of this room, because we've got things falling around.
Immediately following a potential sighting that leaves the team uneasy and anxious to
So let me stop this right here. So sometimes when you go into locations, you get that creepy feeling. You get a feeling you're being watched. You get the feeling you're not being alone. Our bodies are fine-tuned machines. They pick up on energy changes and stuff around us. Part of what causes cold spots is basically energy being drawn away for a spirit to manifest. In this case, a minute ago, the spirit basically gave me goosebumps, messing with my basically my messages going into my hand, causing my hair to go up on my arm. So, I think spirits are more like an energy type thing. When we die, our energy stays and basically, just changes. We lose our shell, essentially. They have to use energy of some sort. They have to pull it from somewhere, from us, from other electronics, from EMF, in the walls and stuff like that. They have to pull that from there to get to manifest in some way. And I've talked about manifestations a lot, so I'm not going to go back into that because, like I said, this video is getting a little long. But essentially, if you see this Canon video camera in his hand, this is kind of what we're looking for. This is a very nice camera. This is probably a $2,000 or $3,000 camera. This is a little older camera. This is probably 5 or 6 years old now. We're looking to get a newer one, but he's got all the whole setup here. So, all right, let's move on to the next one.
Potential sighting that leaves the team uneasy and anxious to find the intruder. They're startled as a large knife seems to be thrown from the wall.
That was right by the ladders.
That sounded like it's coming from in front of me.
While we don't see the knife fly unassisted on camera, we do witness the before and after. It leaves the team visibly shaken, which makes this moment that much more unnerving.
Look at that. I saw
Number 5, slithering.
Okay. So sometimes you don't always get things that happen on camera. Well, not sometimes, a lot of the time, we don't get things on camera that happen. Things moving, doors opening, closing, footsteps, what's causing the footsteps. We don't get it. Our team and a lot of other teams, when you're in a location like this, we'll use DVR cameras and basically set them up and leave them so that when you're not in an area, they're monitoring what's going on. And if something does happen, you can go back later through the video, review it and say, oh yeah, hey, look, there's something moving. But these guys are basically walking around with just a couple of handheld cameras, which is great. You should have those. And they do a pretty good job of showing what's going on as they're walking through or documenting their experiences. But to have a knife come flying off the wall, to me, that says more of a negative type haunt, or something's just really upset and doesn't want you there. There are human spirits that are very strong. They can move things. They can do a lot of the same stuff a demonic entity can do. They can't manipulate your thoughts or anything like that usually, but they can mess with you, and they can mess with you mentally and physically. So to have a physical item like a knife, especially, fly off the wall, off one of those magnetic strips that it was on in that kitchen, and fly across the room, and for them to come find it and see that a knife had been thrown across, that's pretty scary. That's something like, hey, you need to go. It's time for you guys to go. We don't want you in here. That's basically them just saying, hey, we're done. We don't want anything to do with you. So that does happen. You go into locations. Spirits, ghosts or spirits or whatever you want to call them, entities, they're not, they're whatever personality they had in life, they usually have in death. They don't really change that much. If you're a mean person in life, you're going to be a mean person in death. If you're a happy person in life, you're going to be a happy person in death. If you're
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Kind of in between, like me, hopefully you'll have a sense of humor. Hopefully if I was a ghost and people were coming in to talk to me and communicate with me, I would be all over it. I'd be like, hey, I'm here. Let's talk. Put down the K2. Let's have a conversation. Let me tell you what's going on. I don't know. The other side, I don't know if that's possible. If you can actually do that. So anyways, there's a lot of unknowns with the paranormal. Again, you got to take this with a grain of salt. You guys have to make up your own mind. So the knife actually go flying across the room. I don't know. They don't have proof of it. I don't have proof of it. It's just basically you have to take them at their word. Okay, let's watch the next one.
Yes. Paranormal lockdown. 64 hours deep in their stay at the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, Nick, Katrina, and Rob are seemingly joined by a shadowy companion. While investigating the fourth floor, Rob describes a crawling mass creeping against the wall in the distance.
What? I saw something move across that back wall.
Luckily for him and the rest of us, he managed to capture the dark figure on camera.
Yes, watch again. So here we are. And it's right here that I noticed that's moving. It's sliding right across, right to left.
It's unclear what exactly the entity is, but it does seem to be moving. As if that wasn't enough to send shivers up our spines, there's also the knowledge that they'd felt a presence with them beforehand.
And Katrina, our cameraman Rob, and I are all experiencing a growing paranormal presence concentrated on the fourth floor.
Number 4, Frank Fall.
Okay. I've really grown to like paranormal lockdown. I don't know. I've heard a lot about Nick. I've never had the pleasure of meeting the gentleman or Katrina. I would really like to meet both of them, to be honest with you. If Nick, if you're listening, or Katrina, you're listening, my number's down below. Give me a call. I'd love to have you come say hi and come to Texas and maybe go out and investigate a few places with you. I know Nick's been here before because we've investigated some of the same places he has. But anyways, when you're in the paranormal field and you're that popular, you're constantly moving from place to place to place, investigating really cool places and stuff like that, because you basically are getting paid to do it. So anyways, and that's our goal, is to basically have enough funding to be able to go out and do the paranormal research full time. That's what we're trying to achieve. Probably every other investigative team is doing the same thing. So anyways, yeah, the crawling mass, it was hard to see. I remember that show now. I remember watching that. And it does, when they actually show it on the TV, you can kind of see it, because we have a 70-inch TV or something. It's much bigger than watching it on a little screen, especially if you're watching this on a cell phone or something, or a tablet. But I would recommend that channel. I recommend that show if you, haven't seen it. They do get some interesting evidence. They do seem credible. I don't think they're faking anything. And, could that just be a play of the light with a camera? Maybe. Is it something really crawling across the floor? Again, maybe. You go into these places that are that, they're supposed to be the really haunted, and you will have some kind of strange experiences, usually. Not all the time. When we go into a location, we have a 50-50 chance of having some kind of paranormal experience. And so, it is what it is. All right. So let's move on to the next one. I'm going to put the mic back over here so you guys can hear, hopefully.
Ghost Hunters. When it comes to paranormal investigations, Ghost Hunters is one of the most recognizable shows in the genre. Their episodes are regularly stocked full of gut-wrenching moments, but few are quite as harrowing as Frank's fall in the first season.
Right. You okay?
While the team is investigating temperature shifts in the armory's catwalk, the sound man is thrust onto his back from an invisible force. He describes the sensations behind the traumatizing act, from a sudden coldness to an overwhelming rush of fear.
What do you feel when you and something just right from the teams came up. He just took me up and snapped my head back. Took me off.
It's one thing to see something spooky in the distance, but it's another to be physically affected by it.
Okay, we got an ad coming on here. So let me give you, while that's playing, let me give you some feedback. So that's interesting. There are what they call walkthroughs, where spirits basically, can go right through you. Again, their energy gets, you pick up on their energy, and you pick up on the feeling of someone essentially like something cold or something pushing through you. And as they go through you, you pick up on their emotions. I've had this happen to a couple of my team members back when we lived in California. On the Queen Mary, there was an entity that just really wanted to hurt somebody, really wanted to do something. Now, when the spirit goes through you like that, does it steal your energy? Maybe that could be why he felt that cold spot. I've actually seen this video. I remember watching this show, and I have actually seen the video in a better setting than this. And he's literally like physically picked up and pushed and thrown backwards. That's gotta be scary. That poor guy. I feel for him. And I do believe that 100% is a real experience. I don't think he just like pushed up and jumped back. That gear that he's carrying, it's heavy. The boom mic that he had in his hand like this, and then he had the audio, set wrapped around his neck, and then down on his waist. That stuff's heavy. For that whole, and in the video, you can't see it probably here, but in the video you see the whole this whole setup. You see the audio stuff on his waist come up to his chest, like something just shoved the hell out of him. So yeah, I do believe that this could be real. In fact, I'm almost 100% sure it's real. This would be very, very hard to fake. Back in these days, TAPS did a really good job, or ghost hunters did a really good job of making sure that everything was documented. They had cameras everywhere. If something happened, they would show you 3 or 4 or 5 angles, and stuff like that. That's what I really liked. I think that's what everybody really liked about their show when they first came on. If there was footsteps, they had a camera there to show you there was nobody walking around up there or whatever. So I do believe that this is a very credible video. I could be wrong. Somebody could have debunked this, but again, this is just my thoughts. Again, you have to make up your own mind. So let's watch this.
Number 3, Wandering Shadow, Most Haunted. While investigating the Wentworth Woodhouse stables in Rotherham, Carl and Stuart embark on a chase in the main building corridors. After an endless pursuit of the person behind a rattling door, fallen chair, and other unexplained noises, Carl hears clear footsteps in the adjacent hallway. The two attempt to spot their tormentor when a shocked Stuart notices a shadow fleeing down the stairs.
What's that? There. I can see it there. Go for it. I'm not behind you.
They run after the figure, but to their horror, no one's there. What?
Okay, so there's a lot of things I do and don't like about this video. Yes, they were documenting what they were doing. Yes, they had good lighting. Yes, they were documenting the audio. They were saying, hey, I see something, we're going to give chase. But on the same account, when there's paranormal activity going on, the last thing you want to do is go chase it out of the area or scare it away. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. When you hear something, you should kind of creep towards it a little bit and see if it'll continue to do whatever it's doing. If you hear footsteps, you should say, hey, can you walk towards me? not give chase, in my opinion. I think, of course, this is a show, so he's got to be dramatic and he's got to go chase after it. And I might have done the same thing, to be honest with you. I can't say, well, I wouldn't go chase after it, just especially if I thought it was an actual person. But shadow people are notorious for darting away, and it's really hard to find them after that. So the things I don't like is that it was so dark, you can't see the shadow. You just have to kind of take his word for it. I'm sure if we watch the actual show, you can see it much better. But in this video, unfortunately, you can't see it very well. So let's keep going.
Vanishing entity is scary enough. It's the chase that really creates the heart-racing atmosphere that leaves everyone, audience included, uneasy about what lurks in those halls.
Big through around this room, there's a dead end. The hell? I thought that was one of our team. Can't be, because they're all over there.
Number 2, Shattered Glass, Ghost Hunter.
This is one of my favorite. I met Jason. He's really cool. He's like the most, he and Grant, and I think I have never had the opportunity to meet Steve or Tango or anybody else, but I met him and Grant on the Queen Mary. They're the most down-to-earth people you ever want to meet. They're not sitting there faking crap that I know of, at least back in these days. And essentially, he's staying in a haunted room, and I remember watching this episode, he left a camera facing him, and the closet door in the middle of the night woke him up by opening, and there was like growling and all this stuff going on. He had a glass, one of the smaller glasses, just one of the small glasses sitting on the nightstand next to him. He's rolled over facing away from it. And you guys can watch and listen to see what happens next.
The Stanley Hotel is most famous for having inspired the Overlook Hotel in Stephen King's The Shining, but it also happens to be home to numerous claims of paranormal activity. Ghost Hunter's Jason was no exception to this during his overnight stay in room 401. In the early hours of the morning, Jason woke to the unmistakable sound of his closet door opening. Even more frightening, the glass at his bedside table shattered. After ruling out temperature shifts and a tangible force, the team can only assume something supernatural chipped the glass.
It's actually broke. There's a piece.
The hair-raising encounters don't stop there, leaving viewers distressed as the hotel lives up to its horrifying reputation.
I'm not sure what happened.
Before we can...
Okay, so they're going to, subscribe to our channel, which is awesome. I hope you guys subscribe to ours. Either our Rumble or our YouTube would be great. Again, give us a thumbs up, and please subscribe, like, and share the video if you would. Post this on your social media, Facebook, whatever. If you're a fan of the show, please put us on there, our link on your page, so other people can enjoy it too. We're continuing to get more fans. We're just going crazy right now. We've had a lot of new viewers, a lot of new listeners, and I just want to stop and thank you guys so much for all your support in liking our videos and basically hitting that subscribe button and watching what we do. Again, I know these podcasts are getting a little long now, but people seem to like the longer podcasts. Excuse me as I scratch my head. So yeah, that was a cool video. I really liked watching that. If you get a chance, go back and watch the original Ghost Hunters. I think it's on, I can't remember what's on, Travel Channel or Discovery Channel app. And you can go on there and watch that. Let me just fast forward past this. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, that was pretty cool. That was an experience that will live with him for the rest of his life. The Stanley Hotel, I mean, that's an amazing place. I would love to go there one of these days. I think my family and I, was a kid, we stayed there, but I never investigated. I would love to go investigate and see if we can experience anything, maybe in the future. All right, so let's watch. This is their number one last video, and let's just see what they have to say.
Thrown at Goatman's Bridge, Ghost Adventures. The historic site of Old Alton Bridge, sometimes known as Goatman's Bridge, was originally part of a Halloween special. A favorite among paranormal investigators, the bridge and its surrounding area is notorious for supernatural sightings and attacks.
It's a bad idea to be up there.
Not safe outside right now.
It's also home to the disturbing local legend revolving around the titular Goat Man. Already anxious about the location, investigator Aaron is inexplicably thrown roughly 20 feet and left disoriented.
You all right? What happened?
Aaron's bone-chilling account of this experience is pretty unsettling on its own, but the atmospheric noise and spooky editing creates a particularly frightening moment.
No. Whoa, dude. I'm sorry.
The other crew members are also confronted by strange phenomena, making this episode not only memorable, but one that haunts them and fans to this day.
I'm looking in here and something came at me and it hit me and I really boom. And I was just, hey, I'm gonna go look over here. I wasn't even rolling at you. No, I don't know.
Did you enjoy?
Okay. We're going to stop that there. Let me bring my screen back up. All right. So a lot of these places that these people are going are extremely haunted. I've been to Goatman's Bridge. I've talked to several people that have been there, and they, what people don't know is there's Bigfoots in that area of Goatman's Bridge. I've had a couple people tell me they've seen Bigfoots. They've described them in that area. So, the local legend itself makes the bridge scary. It's a dark place. You hear, you can hear like tree knocks and stuff. We heard tree knocks while we were there. We didn't experience very much paranormally. We were there for probably 2 hours. Didn't experience anything. We didn't go down below just because somebody said, "Oh, that's where the demonic area is." We don't go looking for demonic activity. If we are confronted with it, we deal with it, mainly in homes and stuff like that. But we don't search that out. Ghost Adventures does, and I think that's why a lot of people really like them. But those guys are going to be tormented for the rest of their lives. Bad stuff. You don't go into those places without getting affected by it. I've had my own share of demonic activity happen to me in my life. And I don't like it. I don't want anything to do with it. But if it comes my way, I'm ready to deal with it. To the left of me, I've got sage. I've got stones. I've got an abalone shell. I've got some holy salt here. I've got some ashes from what I burned the other day. And of course, I've got a whole bunch of holy water. I've got a whole kit full of stuff for that kind of stuff. But anyways, for those kind of cases. Anyways, yeah, so these places that these guys are going, they're extremely haunted. They're known to be haunted. They're like top 10 haunted places in the United States or in the world. You saw some places over in England. England is awesome. We've been to Scotland. We've been to England for a couple of hours. We didn't get to stay. We only hung out in the airport. When we went to Scotland and we went to Ireland, and those places have a lot of energy to them. Those, they've had a lot of wars, a lot of bad things happen, a lot of people get killed, and it's trapped all that energy there. The United States is much younger. We're, 1,000, 2,000 years younger than most of those other countries, settlement-wise. I'm not talking about the earth. I'm talking about when people have settled. So anyways, all right, guys, this video is getting long. I'm not sure how long it is. Hopefully it's not more than an hour. But anyways, we will catch you on the next one.